Right now, is RFK Jr. staying on the ballot in Wisconsin? We'll have an answer after Dane County judge issues his ruling.
Also, we will detail the nature of a data breach affecting residents in Richland County and what county officials are telling those who may have had their secure information compromised.
And as we move closer to the fall pumpkin patch and apple picking season, how this dry weather has forced local producers to adapt. You're watching News 3 Now at 5. And new at 5, Robert F. Kennedy Jr. will remain on the ballot after a Dane County judge rejects his request to be removed.
Judge Stephen Elke based his ruling on a state law that does not allow candidates who file nomination papers to withdraw them. Judge Elke found that Kennedy was essentially asking the court to create an exception just for him.
However, courts are required to apply the law as written, not as some party wishes it were written. When the statute is plain on its face, as it is here, courts must apply the statute. Under the statute, the commission clearly was correct when it certified Mr. Kennedy for inclusion on the November ballot. November 5th, 2024.
The court had planned to announce the decision tomorrow, but moved it up to today, citing ballot printing deadlines. Kennedy has asked the 2nd District Court of Appeals to take the case, but they put it on hold until Elke's ruling today. Vice President Kamala Harris is returning to Madison for a rally this Friday. Although details about the time and location are unknown, we do know it will be held in the early evening. This comes days after the Associated Press reported Vice President Harris would visit Wisconsin, Pennsylvania, and Michigan in an effort to shore up the so-called blue wall. The vice president has made a total of 8 stops in Wisconsin this year, including 4 since Joe Biden dropped his re-election bid.
And the Trump campaign moves on after another apparent attempt on the former president's life yesterday. Trump expected to speak tonight about cryptocurrency on the social media platform X, followed by a town hall in Flint, Michigan. He'll also make appearances in New York, Washington, and North Carolina later in the week. Today marks 50 days now until the 2024 presidential election.
The U.S. Secret Service says former President Trump has the highest level of protection they can offer. The statement comes the day after yet another apparent assassination on his life.
And the suspect now faces gun charges, accused of pointing a gun at Trump yesterday while the Republican presidential nominee was playing golf. CBS's Manuel Bajorquez with the latest now from West Palm Beach.
Police body camera video shows the moment Florida deputies arrested Ryan Wesley Ruth about 50 miles north of former President Donald Trump's West Palm Beach Golf Club on Sunday.
He never so much as asked what's going on. He just sat there really like he was going to a picnic.
Monday, the 58-year-old appeared in federal court as the FBI investigates the apparent assassination attempt on Trump. For now, Ruth's charged with possession of a firearm as a convicted felon and possession of a firearm with an obliterated serial number. Additional charges are possible. In court, Ruth calmly answered the judge's questions and appeared relaxed to the point of smiling in a conversation he had with the court-appointed public defender. Prosecutors believe Ruth was targeting Trump as the former president was playing golf about 300 to 500 yards away. A Secret Service agent spotted the gun muzzle peeking through the perimeter tree line and fired at it. According to court documents, Ruth fled, leaving behind an AK-47 style rifle, a scope, a digital camera, 2 bags, and a plastic bag with food. Phone records put him in the wooded area for nearly 12 hours.
The subject, who did not have line of sight to the former president, fled the scene. He did not fire or get off any shots at our agent.
But the Secret Service is under new scrutiny, especially after the July attempt on Trump's life.
There is no place in political violence for political violence in America. None. Zero.
The head of the Secret Service went to Mar-a-Lago to brief former President Trump. Manuel Bajorquez, CBS News, West Palm Beach, Florida.
The suspect is scheduled to be back in court next Monday. Trump is scheduled to hold his next campaign event in Michigan tomorrow. Wednesday, he'll be in Long Island, New York, and officials there have announced new security measures as well.
Let's get a look at your First Warn forecast. First Warn meteorologist Kelly Slifka joining us from the weather patio. Kelly?
Yeah, what a beautiful day today. Another warm one this last week of summer. Definitely going to feel like summer. Fall officially arrives on Sunday. Not going to feel like it anytime soon. We're going to continue with this warm weather. Did have a few clouds around moving through Madison, but right now we do have mostly sunny skies. Temperatures right now are in the 80s. We have our Edgewater sky cam. You can see a few clouds out there over the capital city, but right now it's looking pretty nice in general, looking at some pretty quiet weather. Temperatures, though, will be warm in the 80s. Well, in the 80s for the foreseeable future, really going into the weekend. And it looks like it'll be dry through Friday. As we get in the weekend, we are looking at some spotty rain showers. By no means is it expected to be a whole lot of rain for us, but that's our next opportunity for seeing some rain. Our visible cloud track, seeing some of these clouds that skirted across the skies here in southern Wisconsin, but no rain from those clouds, unfortunately. 85 in Madison right now, 86 in Middleton, 85 currently in DeForest. We'll call for temperatures in the 80s, falling through the 70s as we go through the evening hours. So all in all, a pretty nice evening. After dark tonight, those temperatures will be a little bit more comfortable. We're talking about some warm temperatures, but also we'll track some of those rain showers headed into the weekend coming up.
All right, Kelly, thanks. You know, fall's not too far away, but as you see those temperatures, it's still very summer-like out there.
Oh, yeah, it's hot. Our Jalen Banks joins us now from Fitchburg, where the heat is keeping a local orchard on its toes. Jalen?
Good evening, Eric and Merrill. If you couldn't tell by the sun beaming down on my face, it continues to be a pretty warm and relatively dry September. And as you guys just mentioned, fall is right around the corner. And as we inch closer to the official start of fall, which is just a few days away, pumpkin patches and apple picking will start ramping up. And I caught up with one local orchard here in Fitchburg this afternoon, and they tell me from the super wet start of the year in the spring to the warm and dry end of the summer that we're seeing right now, they have continued to adapt to what has been what they described as a roller coaster of a year.
That's part of the challenges of farming. People don't always realize what it takes to get food on the table, but we have to be diversified, and so we have different crops, and that helps as well.
As for the precipitation and rain we've seen so far this month, we've only gotten 2/100ths of an inch of precipitation so far. And tonight at 6, I'll give you an outlook from our First Warn Weather team on whether or not that'll change soon.
Jalen, thank you. The University of Wisconsin says its enrollment across all universities has grown by over 1,000 students this fall. System President Jay Rothman said this is a record enrollment, growing to over 163,000 students. 8 campuses saw higher enrollments, although some of that growth was due to some campuses closing. In Madison, enrollment grew to nearly 52,000, 1,000 more people than last year's record. Rothman says that he hopes the state can provide more funding to take the burden off of the students.
I think we look at it and say, you know, we're 43rd out of 50. 43rd out of 50 on an FTE basis for state support of our public university system. Every other university, every other state around us is in the top 10. Minnesota, Iowa, Illinois, Michigan are all in the top 10. That's not the Wisconsin I know. I spent my entire life in this state.
Rothman added that if they get the funding they need from the state, there would be a tuition freeze for the 25-26 and 26 and 27 school years, and that could also then add more money to access points around the state.
Social security numbers, banking information, and phone numbers are among the list of personal information that residents in Richland County are looking to resecure following a notice sent out informing them of a data breach.
It happened last year, and people are just now hearing about it. Our Kyle Pozorski is in Richland Center with more.
Richland County residents took to social media over the weekend, voicing their concerns over the data breach. This all stemming from letters sent late last week, informing them their data was accessed from a, quote, unauthorized individual, which the county says happened in October of 2023. I came here to Richland Center Monday morning to ask County Minister Candace Pesch about what exactly happened with this data breach. And while hesitant to say more than the initial notice, which is posted on the county's website, she does say everyone's data is now secure, but it still doesn't help answer what happened. Cheryl Dull is a former county employee and current chairperson for the town of Dayton.
People are furious.
She spoke with me about what she and others are experiencing.
They're calling the 833 number, which I also called. They didn't have answers for me. They're going to escalate it. Well, escalate it up to the county, who already isn't giving us information.
Dell tells me she received 4 letters, 2 for herself and 1 each for her husband and daughter. Aside from the letter, she says communication with the county government has been hard to come by, creating in her mind more issues than it's resolving.
They're hiding. I don't know what they're hiding, but it is what it is. I mean, It happened. You need to address it, and you need to address it sooner than later because people are already very frustrated.
In meeting with Administrator Pesh, she tells me her office is waiting to put out any further statements on the breach at this time, promising full transparency when the appropriate time comes to speak on the matter further. In Richland Center, Kyle Pazorski, News 3 Now.
Kyle, thank you. Now, those looking to read the full notice can do so by searching for this story at channel3000.com. Well, buying a home is one of the biggest purchases you can make, especially if you're a first-time home buyer, and getting pre-approved is a common stressor for a lot of people. Between the down payment requirements and the available programs, according to Nick Hudzinski, mortgage sales manager at Landmark Credit Union, despite rising home prices, he says now is actually the best time to buy, and explaining why the first-time home buyer seminars may be a great help.
If you owned a house 20 years ago, you've had that appreciation now for 20 years, where if you're buying now, in the future, you're going to have that appreciation. You're going to have a great opportunity to build equity. So right now is the next best time to kind of buy a house.
The seminar is free and open to the public. All you have to do is register by visiting landmarkcu.com. Just click on the events tab there. Kelly's back next. Complete look at your first warn forecast as we get the week started.
And the latest details on a fire on Madison's east side that displaced 4 people and their pets. What we know about the cause coming up.
And mixed numbers to start the week on Wall Street. The Dow up 228 points. The Nasdaq tumbles 92. S&P 500 adds 7. We'll be right back.
You're watching News 3 Now, brought to you by Cardinal Heating and Air Conditioning.
This shouldn't take too long, should it?
I'll have the unit up and running in a jiffy. Oh, sorry, I have to go to the shop. Sorry, I don't have that part either. Sorry, I don't have that part either.
But you said it would be quick. A fully stocked truck can make a huge difference. Call Cardinal.
4 years ago, in this alley, rioters threw a brick at my face and knocked out my teeth. Why? Because I was a police officer. And what did Kamala Harris do? While America's cities were burning, Kamala was defending peaceful protest. She raised millions to help bail rioters out of jail and supported defunding our police, making us all less safe. Kamala Harris is dangerous.
Preserve America PAC is responsible for the content of this advertising.
Get an 11% rebate on everything at Menards. Get free estimates fast on new energy-efficient windows from Jeld-Wen. Choose from vinyl or wood windows and customize the perfect size and unique features for your home. Get an 11% rebate on all Jeld-Wen windows. Shop the largest selection of in-stock garage doors or design your own using our free garage door design program. This 9x7 garage door is just $399.99 after 11% rebate.
Save big money at Menards.
We wanted to be able to enjoy all 4 seasons, and patio enclosures helped us make that dream come true.
The one and only patio enclosures.
With Chevy trucks, be ready for adventure. With power you can count on. Capability that doesn't compromise. A hard-working EV with more range than any competitor, and the potential to take you anywhere.
Get 0% financing plus make no monthly payments for 90 days on all 2024 Silverado 1500 pickups. Or get $5,750 total value on this Silverado. See your Badgerland Chevy dealer today.
Bidenomics is working.
It's not. ABC News proved it with charts.
It was under control
on
during
inflation,
the Trump administration, well below
gas,
$3 a gallon, 35%
and housing.
jump in home prices, folks.
Even CNN admits it.
When it comes to the economy, groceries were less expensive, housing was more affordable when Donald Trump was president.
Yet Harris still says,
Bidenomics is working.
no, it isn't.
I'm Donald J. Trump, and I approve this message.
Young voters, we are very passionate and we really are focused on our future.
A fresh generation of voters is changing the way politics are played.
I think it's a great opportunity to try and promote unity in our country.
I'm talking to young people to see how they're getting involved with the local, state, and national campaigns and how this could potentially impact the November election.
In a close state like Wisconsin, the youth vote could be the determining factor in who becomes the next president.
3 for the People, tonight on News 3 Now at 6.
You're watching News 3 Now at 5.
We are continuing our 3 for the People coverage, breaking down the political issues that matter most to you. This week, it is my turn to tackle one of those topics, the youth vote. That's voters between ages 18 to 29, and we're going to see the impact this demographic can have on the 2024 election. Here's what you can expect to see this week. I'm talking to students at UW-Madison and UW-La Crosse to see what's driving them to the polls. I'll also look at how Gen Z uses social media to promote political candidates. And later in the week, we will hear from local high schools to see how the staff is approaching civic engagement and what barriers high schoolers may face when voting. This is all to show the impact the youth vote can have here in Wisconsin and to hear why those voters care about the upcoming election.
This election for me is kind of just the line between whether or not we want the rights and liberties that we've fought for, or if we're ready to regress on those sorts of things.
I think a lot of people would agree that these two candidates are not particularly popular. So trying to advance conservative ideas and still trying to find a way to support the Republican platform despite a less than traditional Republican candidate is really important.
The youth vote is historically low compared to turnout from people ages 30 and up. But here in Wisconsin, where elections are very close, the youth vote can be the deciding factor between who gets elected in the upcoming race. Tonight at 6, I'm talking to UW students to see what this election means to them now that Brat Summer is over and they're gearing up for what they say is the most important election of their lives.
A Columbus woman who was hurt in a house fire on Friday died over the weekend. The Columbus Fire Department was called to a home in the 200 block of West Harrison Street early on Friday morning. And that's where they found 2 people outside the home. One of those people was identified as 63-year-old Kathleen Hamilton, who was flown to the hospital's burn unit by MedFlight. Columbus Police Chief Dennis Weiner said Hamilton died from her injuries Saturday night. No foul play is suspected. Let's get a look at your First Warn forecast. First Warn meteorologist Kelly Slifka on the weather patio. Kelly?
Yeah, another warm afternoon out here, and it looks like this trend is going to continue. But boy, I tell you what, we really need some rain. We were feasting the first half of the summer, and then we've been in this famine basically since the first week of August. Really just cannot pick up any rain. We really have hard pressed to find any kind of rain across the upper Midwest. Go up into northern Minnesota, seeing some showers. We've had a few clouds out here, maybe blocking out a little bit of that sun, but the rain chance is not looking great going forward. May see a shower develop Thursday night into Friday. A little better chance this weekend, and we need it. We've only had 2 100s for the month so far. So just a few drops out in the bucket. But for the year today, because we did see all that rain early on in the summer, we're still at a pretty good surplus. Yeah, I guess we are starting to think about Halloween and fall. Of course, autumn does arrive on Sunday, and we're not looking at any kind of fall-like temperatures anytime soon. We're in the 80s yet this evening. We'll back off through the 70s and into the 60s as we go through the overnight tonight. So warm conditions will continue not only through the weekend, but even into next week. It's looking like it's going to be fairly warm. Temperatures well above average for this time of year, as we typically see those temperatures drop off through the second half of September. Looks like it'll be dry at least through Friday. Weekend does bring in some spotty rain showers. Right now, it does not look like a real significant amount, but we at least have some chance of rain. And we'll notice that humidity come up a little bit by Friday into the weekend. That may give us a little bit better opportunity of squeezing out some moisture as we go into the upcoming weekend. Nothing widespread, though, expected. All right, our future track, temperatures in the 80s yet for the next couple of hours before falling through the 70s here at 10 o'clock. We're still above 70 degrees here at 10 o'clock. Overnight tonight, thankfully the air has been fairly dry, so the temperatures have been able to drop off fairly nicely. So we'll be in the 80s here at the noon hour already tomorrow, and we're back right into the mid-80s again tomorrow afternoon. So it's going to be another warm day. Now, we're starting to see things shift a little bit as we look out at the next 6 to 10 day outlook. All the dry conditions that we've had over the last several weeks, that's started to shift a little bit more toward the east. Starting to see a little bit more activity develop here in the plains, moving into the Mississippi Valley. We're hoping that we get a little bit more rain as we go into the later part of the month. Warm conditions either way, looks like that'll continue right through the 26th. So this is well underway into fall by that point. So it looks like these above average temperatures will continue. It's because the jet stream basically up to the north. You think this cool trough that's out west looks like it's going to slam right into us. Well, it's just going to lift up to the north. This is a very strong ridge of high pressure right over the nation's midsection, so that warm weather will continue right through the upcoming weekend and even into the following week. 85 right now in Madison, 86 in Janesville, 86 also in Lone Rock and across Dane County. We're all sitting in the toasty 80s. Got a couple of upper 70s there in Sauk City and Cross Plains, but most of us in the low to mid 80s here at the 5 o'clock hour. So 86 tomorrow, another warm day. I think we'll actually get a little bit more sunshine tomorrow, 84 Wednesday and Thursday. There might be a shower moving in Thursday. We're going to have to keep our eyes on that. One of our computer models does want to bring in some rain. Hopefully that pans out. Should be clearing up by Friday afternoon. Then we do have, well, 30 to 40% chance of rain. So nothing widespread going into the weekend, into early next week. But that's our next opportunity for some rain.
All right, Kelly, thank you. And next at 5, the story of a young boy born with hand deformities. How a company is helping him play the game he loves, baseball. That's coming up.
News 3 Now First Warn Weather is brought to you by Lazy Boy Home Furnishings and Decor.
Discover a shopping and design experience as comfortable as the furniture. Lazy Boy Home Furnishings and Decor. Schedule your free design consultation today.
Experience, knowledge, and results. That's what you need when you've been in a serious truck accident. Call Gruber Law Offices. We've successfully helped people injured by big trucks for more than 35 years. Gruber Law Offices. One call, that's all.
I'm Tammy Baldwin, and I approve this message.
Eric Hovde insulted Wisconsin seniors.
Almost nobody in a nursing home is in a point to vote.
What a jerk. He attacked those who are overweight.
Fine, you want to do that? Your health care is going to cost more.
How insulting is that?
He called farmers lazy.
Look at the old physical toil. Now you're largely driving around a tractor.
This guy doesn't have a clue.
Eric Hovde has insulted just about everyone.
What's wrong with this guy?
With Sweeto Metal Roofing, you get quality metal roofs installed by the best in the business. A metal roof means no fading, no storm repairs, true sustainability, and lower energy bills.
Sweeto Metal Roofing, the last roof you'll ever need.
Right now, we're running our 60-60-60 sale. So when you purchase your new concrete coating, you get a $60 Visa gift card plus either 60% off installation or 60-month no-interest financing. This is one of our best deals of the year. So visit our website or call the number for your new floor today.
Think Sloan's first.
We've been with Sloan Implement since my father started farming, my grandfather started farming. They are a family business that's been around for generations, and that's very important to us.
Think Sloan first, now during Gear Up for Fall on a John Deere X350. Built for taking it easy. Get yours with 1.9% for 36 months. Get a John Deere now.
Power up Sloan's. Think Sloan's first.
Finally, I get to see the doctor I want to see because I made the switch. I had Medicare Advantage, but I had to drop my primary care doctor and navigate confusing medical networks to find a new one. I thought my coverage was good enough, but nothing was ever easy. I found a better way with a Medicare supplement insurance plan from WPS. No worries, no hassles, no networks. Now, my friends are the only network I need.
Gas, groceries, school supplies, everything costs more. Eggs are almost twice as much as they were 4 years ago. Biden, Harris, and the Democrats keep telling us things are better. They aren't better. And Tammy Baldwin is making it worse. Raising taxes, running up debt, voting for spending that's driving inflation. 25 years in Washington and she's done nothing. It's time for a change.
I'm Eric Hovde, and I approve this message.
A truck crash can be life-changing. If you've been injured, call Gruber Law Offices. We have a powerful team with the knowledge, resources, and history of results you'll need. Gruber Law Offices. One call, that's all.
You're watching News 3 Now at 5. Moving forward.
Welcome back. A new survey from the Wisconsin Department of Children and Families, or DCF, found that nearly 60% of the state's child care providers operate at or below capacity. That's due to staff shortages. The Child Care and Demand Survey showed that if providers could operate at full capacity, up to 33,000 more children would be able to get child care. DCF Secretary cited cuts to the Child Care Counts program payments as having a ripple effect on the child care workforce. Salaries of child care workers also falls at about half of the recommended salary. It's based on median Wisconsin wages for similar positions. A small Houston business has made life a little more fun for a 3-year-old boy navigating life with hand deformities. He was born with 8 fingers and thumbs that did not function.
Now, surgery has helped him gain some mobility, and as Simone Simpson reports, the shop gifted him a baseball glove made especially for his hand.
I love my mom.
When Kobe is not in his mother and father's lap, you'll find him enjoying music or baseball.
And we reminded him that he was able to do everything, no matter what.
Kobe was born with radial longitudinal deficiency.
I believe the first surgery, he was 1 year old.
Yes, one.
And they removed his first little thumb because it was just like holding on with like a little piece of a tissue.
3 surgeries later, at the age of 3.
With the surgeries that he has, it's been very great to him because now he has thumbs and stuff like that. So it's been very, very, very good.
Something else that has been very good for the family is this.
Go ahead and take a look at it. It's very well customized. And then it has his name.
The glove came from Issa Gloves, a small business in Houston.
I'm just glad I could help.
Jose Santiago and his daughter Issa were looking forward to designing a baseball glove that Kobe could grow into.
Is there any other kid, boy or girl, that needs a special glove? You know, hey, I'm here, we here.
Both Jose and Kobe's family were connected to each other by a coworker of Kobe's dad.
Thankfully, he adjusted pretty well, and he's been doing really good, and he makes us really proud, for sure.
Now, to learn more about that Houston shop, visit it's izagloves.com. That's IZAA-gloves.com.
And we'll be right back with the final check of your firstborn forecast.
Introducing the new Sushi Lover Madison. All-you-can-eat sushi and hibachi at an amazing price. Now open at Westtown Mall for lunch or dinner. Be sure to try Sushi Lover Madison.
Women need to pay close attention
To what Eric Hovde says about access to abortion.
Hovde's all in about opposing reproductive rights.
I am totally opposed to abortion.
And he wanted Roe overturned.
Do you think Roe versus Wade should be overturned?
Yes. So Eric Hovde is okay with politicians overruling decisions of doctors like me.
My patients worry about what Hovde will take away next.
A vote for Eric Hovde means we'll lose even more control over our lives.
Women Vote is responsible for the content of this ad.
You don't need to battle addiction alone. Contact the great people at Wood Violet Recovery today. You could be on your way to recovery the same day. Wood Violet Recovery works with a wide range of insurance networks, so a large portion of your treatment may be covered. Wood Violet Recovery will create the treatment plan that best suits your needs. Unlike other rehab facilities, phones and laptops are welcome. Today may feel dark, but there's a brighter tomorrow. Contact Wood Violet Recovery now.
Pella windows and doors are best in class, not only from the endless styles, but for the features you can't see. Pella manufactures, tests, installs, services, and warranties their products, meaning quality craftsmanship and innovative design are built into every Pella window and door for timeless beauty and performance. Get as low as $18 per window and $81 per patio door per month. Set your free in-home consultation today at PellaWI.com.
Drive into summer with a new Honda. Heading out for a day at the beach or a weekend in the mountains. Make an impression with the unmistakable style of the HR-V or turn heads in the sporty Civic. And when you drive a Honda, you're driving with the 2024 Kelley Blue Book's KBB.com Best Value brand. So act now to get an offer you'll love. Buy online, reserve from select dealers, or hurry into the Honda Summer Event.
3 years ago, I had an abortion of a desperately wanted and loved baby. Joan Ballwig wants to ban all abortion, with no exceptions. Not for rape or incest, not to save the mother's life. I know what it's like when women have to make these heartbreaking decisions. The very last person who should have anything to do with it is a politician like Joan Ballwig.
Introducing the new Sushi Lover Madison. All-you-can-eat sushi and hibachi at an amazing price. Now open at Westtown Mall for lunch or dinner. Be sure to try Sushi Lover Madison.
Coming up tonight on the CBS Evening News, what we've just learned from law enforcement about the apparent assassination attempt of Donald Trump. What the FBI said they've learned about analyzing the gunman's cell phone and how the Secret Service thwarted the threat. That and more headlines tonight right here on the CBS Evening News.
And Kelly is back once again as we take a final check of the first warn forecasts.
Yeah, the last week of summer is definitely going to feel like it. 85 right now in Madison, 84 in the Dells, 86 in Lone Rock, Janesville at 86 across Dane County. You have a couple of upper 70s right now in Sauk City and Cross Plains, but 84 in Middleton. The rest of the week looks quiet, kind of like what we've seen. Mid to 80s, our next chance of rain. May see a shower develop Thursday night into Friday. Better chances here and there Saturday and Sunday. Nothing widespread expected, but at least there is that rain chance. Temperatures back off just a little bit, but it looks like that warm weather is going to return throughout much of next week.
I'd like summer to hang around well into fall.
You know, it can stick around as long as it wants. Yeah, as far as I'm concerned.
Yeah, we like that.
Fall is my favorite season, so I'm ready for it.
We're back at 30.